Welcome to the Author to Authority podcast. And one of the amazing things about doing this podcast has been the incredible people that I have met and had an opportunity to interview that I never would have met without the podcast. And today's guest, Fathiya, is one of those people. And I am so excited because just a couple of days ago, she had me on her She Wins Mastermind podcast, and now she's on mine. And Fathiya is a marketing and business strategist. She's the founder of She Wins Mastermind, the podcasting club, and the host of the She Wins podcast. Her entrepreneurship journey hasn't always been fun, impactful, or purposeful. In fact, it's been full of ups, downs, struggles, and lessons to learn. And isn't that all of us? All of our entrepreneurial journeys that way. You know, they say, you know, you see this chart of success and it's supposed to be this straight line going up. The truth is, it's like a bowl of spaghetti. It goes up, down, around, sideways, all over the place. Half the time, you don't even know where you're going. So her journey has been just like ours. But the difference is that she's grown throughout all of this, and she's got some amazing stuff to teach you today. So this experience of hers has inspired her to create platforms that help female entrepreneurs and a few good men launch and scale their online businesses, build their authority, and master digital marketing. And in the last 5 years, she has helped over 2,500 entrepreneurs market their business effectively and build authority in online communities. So welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Kim, and thank you for the amazing introduction. I am so excited to be here today. And like you were saying, you were on my podcast and I was like blown away. It was just like so much good information. So I'm really excited to be here today.
Well, first, why don't you start off by sharing a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey? What were some of the ups and downs and the all-overs that you weren't expecting?
Yeah. So basically, I always say the fact that I've been through ups and downs. Like you were saying, everybody in their entrepreneurship journey has been through ups and downs. And the thing with me was, I'm a very happy, open, optimistic person and positive person. And my entrepreneurial journey took me to a place of darkness and depression because I literally thought I could do it. There were so many times that I was like, I can do this. Then I go to the actual doing the thing and I realized that I cannot do this. And it was breaking my confidence, making me so depressed. And I was just like, I really want to succeed so bad, but I just don't know how. And I feel a lot of people in that situation, they're just like, how do I do this? I want this so bad, but I just don't know how to do it. So like, based on that, I was just like, okay, so I've been through that and I found my way to come back to my bright and happy place. But it took more than a year of like going through and persevering and personal development that I think is so important to actually come out of that. And I know every time you're starting a new journey, you go through a lot. And that's why I created a She Wins Mastermind platform. That's what inspired me to create a She Wins Mastermind platform, because I wish I had some kind of guidance, some support, and a guide to kind of know what to expect in this journey. Because if you know what to expect, it makes it easier for you. But if you're just going through it and it feels like you're just going through a new thing all the time, it's like, it's harder. And that's why a lot of people give up when they start a business.
Well, because the wheels are spinning and you ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And you feel like I'm working so hard. But yeah. What is there to show up for all this hard work? What am I showing for all this hard work that I did?
You know, it's funny that you talk about that and the emotional side of it, because one of the things I've been doing, mostly for fun, but kind of bring in extra money. I'm a craft person. Okay. Love all sorts of crafts, but you know, I can only give so much crafting to my family. Well, usually the first piece, they're kind of like, thanks, Mom. Not really what I wanted. So this new crafting that I have, I've decided instead of just trying to give it all away, I'm actually going to sell it. So this week, for my birthday, this weekend, my family, who loves me but never understands that the gifts I want, I asked for an 8-in-1 heat press so I can make t-shirts and mugs and all sorts of stuff. And I was playing around with it and, watching videos and trying some different techniques, and nothing was working out. And I'm like, I suck at this. This is not fun, right? My husband's like, it's okay. This is only your file. Like, you guys just spent all this money and I can't get this dumb thing to work.
And that's the thing. You literally said it. Like, you just feel like I'm not good enough. Mm-hmm. The feeling of you're not good enough is not a good feeling.
No. But then I got the right material, I tried it work, and I was all happy again.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the journey, because you're just like, 1 minute, you're like, I'm so bad at this, I'm not going to do it anymore. But then you kind of put yourself together and just say, why am I giving up? Then let me just try again and try again and try again. And then you do it, and it makes you forget about all the things that you've been through.
Well, sometimes you only have to change one thing.
Yeah.
Right? What I had to change was the material that I was trying to put on the mugs and the t-shirts. It wasn't the right material.
Yeah.
But once I got the right material, it went on like butter. It was smooth as silk. It looked great, right? But I was using the wrong material. No wonder I was frustrated.
Yeah. And I don't know I don't know if you guys know, but that says like you can't keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. And I think that's what it is about. You need to kind of take a step back and just like, let me just change, let me try something different, and see if it works.
So I kind of interrupted your entrepreneurial journey there. Did you want to share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so like going back to, what inspired me to create the She Wins Mastermind platform was like this struggle, this like going ups and down, the emotional effort, but also a lot of people struggle with marketing. Oh, yeah. Marketing can sound like a very complicated thing, but it doesn't have to be.
No.
And that's what I try to put on across my platforms and across my work, that marketing doesn't have to be complicated. Mm. I'm trying to literally help people cut through that online marketing noise and kind of stand out with just the foundation and the basics of marketing, instead of getting like, distracted by all the shiny stuff, by all the new stuff that's coming up, because trends comes and go. But if you have your basics and the foundation right, you're always going to be able to market effectively. So my whole work is revolved around keeping things simple. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think things are always getting more and more complicated, especially online, that you need to know this fancy thing, you need to get technical, and it always is so overwhelming for a lot of people. But what if you can just keep it simple and get the result that you want?
Well, and I think the thing with marketing too is that, first of all, there's some foundational pieces you have in place. So don't even think about doing any type of marketing until you have those foundational pieces. But once you do, the one thing I've learned about marketing is it's a lot of testing. And you're better to work off of one platform, test it, work on it, get it strong. Don't try to go out on every single platform out there. Figure out what platform is going to be the best one for you. And then, get in there, start using it, learn about it. Test. That's one of the foundations of marketing, is you have to test till you figure out what works with your market. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times over the last, 5.5 years that, I've had a couple of 2 or 3 covers done for a client. And usually, the client and I usually have, we probably usually like about the same one. But I'll say to the client, put it out on Facebook, put it out on your LinkedIn, put it out on your Instagram and get everybody voting. Because they're your target market, right? And they're going to tell you which one they like. And about half the time, it's not the one that we picked.
Yeah.
Right? And I always say to them, go with what your market's saying. Don't go with what you like.
Exactly.
Go with what the market's telling you it wants.
Yeah, and you're so right on what you just said, because a lot of people want to do what they want, what they need, not what their their audience needs and what their audience wants. And that's a very important point that you said right there. And just to go back to your point, like I see a big mistake that people tend to do a lot of the time is that they focus on the media, on the content. So they start a business and they straight away think about the content and the media, without actually thinking, because I believe that's the easiest part of marketing, creating content, the how to maybe make an Instagram post, how to create a Facebook group and stuff like that. That's the easiest part of marketing. The a more complex part of marketing and the more important part of marketing is actually understand your target market, knowing their pain points, knowing what they need, where they want to go. That's the important part of marketing. Because right now you could be creating content and you could be creating all the fancy media that you want, but if you're not targeting the right people, if you're putting this content in the wrong places, then you're not going to achieve the results that you're looking for.
Well,
So
if it doesn't speak their language.
Exactly.
If it doesn't speak their language, you're not going to get any results.
Exactly. So don't always think about like, okay, I need to create content when you start a business. Straight away to the media. Think about who is your ideal customer. Get clear about who is your ideal customer avatar. Exactly. What's their demographics? What's their behaviors, their psychographics? What is the habits that they have? What is the interest that they have? Get as clear and specific about the visual representation of who your ideal customer is before even thinking about content.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, you know, it's not always male, female. Sometimes it's not always married, single. Exactly. Sometimes it could be a category. Like I work with entrepreneurs, professionals, coaches, and speakers, but I tend to work with high-level ones. You know, ones that are experienced, right? I also tend to work with heart-centered people, right? So for me, the male female isn't always as important, though, you know, my clients are more male than female, but it's the characteristics of the person that I'm looking for. Yeah. That really makes it working with them successful. Exactly. So, you know, think of those things as well. Like, you know, it's not just married, single, age, occupation, all that kind of stuff, but, you know, also the characteristics of the person that you want to work with. Yeah, and that's why I always say that psychographics of a person, it's more important than what are obviously the demographics, age, gender, disposable income, whatever. Like knowing exactly what their interests are, how they think. Mm-hmm. And why do they even buy certain things? Why do they buy what they buy? Why are they interested in what they're interested in? It's way more important than age, gender, and stuff like that, because that's what's going to also help you shape your whole business. Because if you have a skincare company, for example, and it's an organic skincare company, you want to know that your audience or your ideal customer is interested in organic products. Maybe they're even vegan. They really care about the environment and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's the details that count. People try always to generalize. They try to target everybody because they think that's the easiest way to go. I target everybody and I'm definitely someone is going to buy from me. That's the thought. Someone is going to buy from me. Yeah, you target everybody and you're targeting nobody. Exactly. And I feel like we all did that mistake that we think, we target everybody, we make our product cheaper, and then we're going to have a lot of traffic because everybody's going to buy from us. We are cheaper than our competition. We are targeting everybody. But that's a big misconception in our head because people don't want generalists. People want specialists. And you know what I found? I found my business actually works better the more I charge. Yeah. You know, and you're talking about like this organic skincare. But you're also looking for people not just who want organic, but who have the mindset that they're willing to pay more for organic. Yes. I love what you just shared. And I completely agree with you. I get better clients now that I'm charging
£3,000, £3,000 plus than when I was charging £500. Why? Because people that come to me know exactly what their pain points are. They are ready to work from it. That pain point is so painful that they are ready to pay for it, to get it sorted. And the thing about when you're charging low and you're generalizing and you're targeting everybody is that sometimes you end up targeting people that don't even know what their pain point is. They are not there. They didn't discover what the pain point is, what is keeping them up at night. Like, you need to know that, this thing is painful enough. I cannot deal without help anymore. Then you go to that specialist. That could be you, Kim. I've been trying to be my authority for years and I can't. I even wrote a book before, but it didn't go as planned. And I go to Kim, that she's an expert in that, with already this big pain point. I did it before, I couldn't. I signed up to different courses, I couldn't. I bought different programs, I couldn't. So the pain point is so strong that I need help and I'm willing to do everything for it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We haven't even gotten to the stuff you've come prepared to share with today.
So I feel like it's great that we're having this conversation and it's flowing. So,
but I do want to give you an opportunity because I know you've come prepared with a few things. So I'm gonna let you loose to share what really you want to share with the audience today.
Yeah. So as I said, my aim and my mission and my goal is to always make marketing simple for people. So I know how overwhelming marketing can be. You're even a good, you have good experience in marketing, or you don't even have good experience. So today I want to talk to all those people who are struggling, who are overwhelmed by the word even marketing. They don't know where to start from, or they are trying different platforms and they're like, I don't know, nothing seems to work. Nothing seems to get me those clients. Nothing seems to talk to my ideal client. So today I wanted to kind of share and go through my 3 steps. As I said, I always keep it simple. 3 steps to creating a good marketing plan. And why do we need a marketing plan? Because we need to be intentional in what we're doing. We need to make sure that we are being strategic so that we can achieve our marketing goals, so that we can get to communicate with our audience. That's why we are creating a marketing plan. And marketing, let's even talk about the word marketing. It's simply about communicating with your ideal client. So if you keep it that simple, it's all about communicating with your ideal client. Everything starts to be clear to you. So what can I do to communicate effectively with my ideal client? Keep it like that in your mind. Don't think about marketing is go doing YouTube videos, posting, running ads, and all this stuff. It can be overwhelming. I get overwhelmed talking about it. So let's keep it marketing is just communicating with your ideal customer or client effectively. So what's the first step for creating a good marketing plan, a simple marketing plan? I call it like that because I want you to keep in your head. This is simple. It's thinking about and getting clear on your marketing goals. Why are you creating this marketing plan? Is it to increase your income? And get specific on this. 20% more income this year. That's what I want. I want to get more traffic to my website. That's what I want. Get very specific on what you're trying to achieve. So we're creating a marketing plan for a whole year here on this show. So for a whole year, think about your short-term and long-term goals with your business. And this can also work even if you're not doing a business, even in life, you can actually go on with that. So think about your short-term goal and your long-term goals. Be specific about it. I don't want you to just say, I want to make more income this year. No, because what's the meaning of more income? You make £1 extra. I'm in the UK, sorry guys. So you make $1, £1 extra this year. Yes, you make more income. That doesn't mean anything. Exactly. So get specific. I want to make $3,000 more this month. I want to increase my website traffic by 20%. Get very, very clear on what you're trying to achieve with your marketing. As I said before, the more specific, the more strategic, the more you're going to achieve those goals and those objectives that you put on for yourself. So that's your first step. Focus, brainstorm. I actually say, like, literally write it on a paper, put some bullet points, and start writing down. Second step is to know exactly who is your target market and ideal customer avatar. Mm-hmm. So as I said, this is one of the most important things ever. If you don't know these things, your marketing is just nothing.
No, nothing.
Nothing, literally. So ideal customer avatar. What is an ideal customer avatar? It's basically the visual representation of who your ideal customer is. Mm-hmm. So you know that your target audience are, for example, in Kim's case, they are speakers, entrepreneurs who are looking to build authority by writing a book. So that's your ideal customer, that's your target market. And then you want to get clear, who exactly is this person? So as I said before, start with, you want to be clear on everything. So that's why I say start with the demographics. So their age, their disposable income. I feel like this is very important point.
Yes.
How disposable income? This means income that they can spend on other things. Income they can spend on you. Because that's what it is. This helps with the targeting, because imagine if you're selling a high ticket product or program like me and you, Kim. If I don't have enough disposable income, I cannot afford it. So if I'm targeting that person that's making $1,500 per month, asking them to buy a $10,000 product, it's not going to happen. It's going to make you waste time, first of all, give you that thing that you're not good at what you're doing, or mm-hmm. It's also a mindset thing. If you're going to people and they're telling you yes, 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 you're more empowered. But if you're going to people and they're telling you no, 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 you're crashing down, and it makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like, what is wrong? What am I doing wrong? So for your mindset and for your business, it's good for you to know exactly who you're targeting, the market that you're targeting, but also who's your ideal client avatar. So let's go on with it. As I said, disposable income is very, very important. Mm-hmm. Then maybe you are a business that has, stays in a certain location. Maybe you're not worldwide. Get clear on places that you want to target. Mm-hmm. Like in my case, I target, obviously, I'm online, so I go everywhere. But I know a lot of businesses that are just like local. They maybe are just in London or just in California. So make sure that you know exactly where you're targeting. Because in case you decide to promote using Facebook ads, for example, you can make sure that you are targeting the right people. There's no point in you like going broad.
Yes.
And, imagine targeting people who are in the UK when your business in California and you're trying to work with people in California. It's literally, you're not going to achieve the goals that you're looking to achieve. So let's move to the psychographic instead. So psychographics, as I said before, they are interests, desires. What are they looking for? What are they interested in? What are their hobbies? This is very, very important. So as we're making the example before, we're a business and we were very health centered. So we're looking for people who are interested in the health industry, who are maybe fitness lovers, who are vegan. So they really care about what they're eating, because we are health centered. So that's our priority. So get clear on what is the priority of your business. What does your business stand for? So if you know exactly what your business stands for, what are the values? So here is where are the values come from? What are the values that your business stands for? Are you all about empowerment? Are you all about mental health? These things need to come in the hobbies, the interests, and the desires. So if your ideal customer is struggling with losing weight, I like the health kind of industry, because that's something that I'm always trying to kind of get into. But so that's why the examples always lead to health. But if your ideal customer is trying to lose weight, what are the, for example, the Facebook page that she will be interested in? She'll be probably interested in maybe workouts that, take 20 minutes per day so that you can be fit. Or what the name? How to prepare food easily while working a 9 to 5, for example. Like, get very specific. Actually, you know, sometimes I say go on Facebook pages and see what your ideal client is looking for. Or like just this morning, I was on Clubhouse and I was doing a mini coaching session, and I was just like, you know what it is? And I was like, I always ask people, tell me in 5 bullet points, what's the result that your program, your business is trying to solve, in 5 bullet points. If you don't know how to say, communicate these 5 bullet points, you are not going anywhere. Because if you're confused, your audience is confused. So how can you actually get to know their psychographics? Because I know that some people may be thinking, but how do I learn all this? Like, how do I know the language, the questions that they're asking? So you go on, for example, Clubhouse. If you guys are using Clubhouse and you're lovers, because me, I'm already a fan and I've been enjoying it. So what you can do is
Android. I can't get on it yet.
I can give you an invitation. After this, I will invite you.
If you're an Android user, you can't get the app.
Yeah, I remember that. Anyways, but you know, as I said, there's opportunities everywhere. So as I was saying, like, for example, you can go in a Facebook group and ask. So there are different ways you can do it. Opportunities are everywhere, for real. So you can go in a Facebook group and ask, let's take an example that we can apply. For example, okay, I'm doing a course about trauma, overcoming trauma. Yeah. So I can go on a Facebook Live and bring this topic up, how to overcome trauma. Obviously did my research. So I'm an expert in the industry as well. So I can share my knowledge and then ask my audience to ask me questions. These questions are exactly the things, the words that you are going to use within your marketing.
Yeah.
Exact words. The exact words that they ask you, oh, I would like to know how I can overcome this mental block of, not be able to move on. In your marketing message, while you're creating your content, when you're running ads, my course would teach you how to overcome that mental block so that you can move on. Use your audience language. Don't try to give them what you want or what you think is right, but give them what they need and what they're looking for. And my mentor 10 years ago told me something very important. Fathiya, learn to listen. Because if you listen, people would tell you what they need and what they want. And that's something that as a business, you always need to be open to. You always need to find out what your audience wants and what they need.
So we've only got a few minutes left, and I know you still have point 3. So I want you to get to point 3, and then we will close this all up.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, thank you, Kim, for that, because I tend to talk a lot and I can just go all day.
Oh, you're sharing the gold, dear. You are sharing the gold, but we are almost out of time.
Yeah. So like step number 3, marketing strategy. And this is like very important. We're talking about the strategy, the tactics. But, when we get to this point, what I want you to consider is 4 things: your product, your price, your promotion, and your place. This is the basic of marketing, the 4 P's of marketing. So think about the strategy that you want to have with your product. So going on with the health, product or service again, what do you want to do with your marketing strategy? For example, I want to improve my existing product. I want to offer personalized packages. I want to introduce natural ingredients in my product. What is your strategy what is the strategy with your product? So get clear on that. What about the price? I want to compare my prices with my competitors and see if I can come up with a good balance when it comes to pricing. Or I want to set the premium prices for my product and see if my audience, it's actually, good for it, like they like it. So the main thing here is to know where to price yourself. If your audience can actually afford your product, and this goes back to, knowing their disposable income, knowing exactly who you want to target. Then we go to the promotion, and this is where what everybody think marketing is, just promotion. But it's a part of marketing. So when it comes to the promotion, think about we're staying true to our example, health. For example, I want to get in touch with some 10 influencers. That's a strategy, getting in touch with 10 influencers within my niche and get them to try out my product and share it. I want to get in touch with bloggers and get my bloggers to kind of review my product. I want to give, for example, I want to run more ads. I want to boost my Instagram post. I want to offer coupons and flash sales. Promotion. We all know that promotion is everywhere. And then the last step is place. Where is my product going to be seen by my audience?
Yes.
So for example, since I decided to collaborate with bloggers, I want bloggers to put my product on their sites. So that's a place that my audience can find it. I want to go out there and give my product to brick and mortar shops so that people can find it there as well. I want to create a group where people can come and find my product. Mm-hmm. So think about the places where you want your audience to find your product. And by thinking about this, you also need to think about where's your audience already hanging out and where are they buying the product from.
Awesome. Awesome. So if you've enjoyed today and now your mind is spinning like mine is, how can people get a hold of you to find out more, learn a little bit more? Do you have any free resources that you give away?
Yeah, I have a free simple marketing plan template for them to get. So everything I talked about right now, I have a template that you can get your hands on and work on your marketing strategy on. It's going to guide you through the steps that I went through. And then you can obviously connect with me on one of my favorite social media platforms, and that's Instagram at fathia.site. Or you can connect with me on Clubhouse. Once you just get on one of my platforms, you kind of get on all the platforms. And I also have a podcast where I share a lot of these tips and I get amazing guests on, like Kim herself. So you can check out the She Wins podcast as well.
Okay, so you didn't tell people where they could get that marketing plan template.
That's true. So you can get it at shewinsmastermind.com/marketing template.
Okay, awesome. And now we'll make sure that those are in the show notes. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. You have been an awesome, amazing guest. This is Kim Thompson-Pinder on the Author to Authority podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you on the very next episode. Bye now.